Hello, everybody, and we're back.
We are back, Hillary. Welcome back, I guess.
It's November. Do you know what that means?
We're done with harvest. Everything's a little cooler. Fire season's over.
I was thinking more like turkey and mashed potatoes, but...
Of course, you would relate it back to food.
Always.
Well, food and wine. And the place we're going to today is somewhere that most people in San Helena have probably driven past multiple times.
And they have fabulous wine
Great
for
wine.
the Thanksgiving table.
There you go. So enjoy our episode at Titus with Stephan the winemaker.
Everybody, and we're back for another fabulous episode, and we're doing one of my favorite things ever, where we went on a field trip. And
I thought you were going to say drinking.
Well, we're doing that too, but we're on location.
Drinking field trips.
Drinking fields, yeah, you know, it's like the adult version of 5th grade.
That's what people come to Napa for.
Yeah, adult Disneyland, but we just get to do it on a Monday night. Way cooler. Do you want to tell everybody where we're at?
We are at a really cool on-location winery, Titus Winery. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting here with Stephan the winemaker in a really awesome tasting room. And take it away, Hill.
Yeah, so our special guest tonight, he's worked harvest in New Zealand, Germany, France, has extensive experience in the valley, both at Chapelet and Cade, joined Titus in 2015, and somehow got coaxed into joining us tonight. So welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Who got you coaxed into this, by the way? I'm sorry that you are in mid-harvest and now you have to sit and talk.
No, it's fine. It actually all worked out really well.
And read a silly police log and drink some of your wine that you've been probably drinking for the last, 8 years.
Yeah. No, it's perfect. Julianne,
Cool.
I don't know how she got in with you guys. I don't know if she just reached out to you. But,
we're pretty well known now.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean it's there's a long waiting list.
And then I told my wife Autumn that I had the opportunity, and she's like, "Oh, you have to do it." So
Autumn, thanks.
Here we are.
Shout out for Autumn.
Perfect.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if you know what we do here, but it's a, what do I usually say? It's a low budget, high authenticity.
Uh-huh.
Very true, but we like to read the police log, laugh about it, mostly talk about wine, and
And the really intense crime that we
the
have to
wild,
suffer through on a
crazy
daily basis.
crime of Napa Valley.
Mm-hmm.
The podcast Napa Valley didn't know it needed.
And we still are providing it.
Still doing it.
So this month, we are doing July 2022, and then we're going to do 2015 in honor of the year you started here.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So we have some fun, of course, animal-filled excitement.
Well, does anyone want to start it off? There's some youths out there who are being problematic. This is 2015, so we're going way back. This would be Saturday, July 18th at 1900, so 7 p.m. at night. Report of a problem on Rosebud Lane with kids being rude and mean, doorbell ditching, knocking other kids off their bikes, taking the bikes, blocking the roadway, and refusing to yield to traffic, trying to enter people's houses, and almost hitting a child in a stroller.
Some real hoodlums.
Yeah, they're going rogue.
It just keeps getting worse. I was like, what is next? Starting small fires and killing animals?
What
Horrible.
are they trying to do in the houses? Like, are they just trying to go in and be like, I've arrived?
I don't know, but San Lena's youth, look out.
Well,
How are they stopping traffic? Just
I mean,
standing in the middle of the street?
yeah, and I mean, Rosebud, it's a pretty busy place, so.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
2015, so these kids are like in college now.
You're right.
Or graduated from college.
Yeah.
If only we knew. If only we knew
So
who.
And they're
now
probably
they're-
they might be even working
I was gonna
with
say,
you.
they're probably working
Yeah.
with us now.
Probably are.
Yeah.
That's scary.
On the juvenile front, I've got one from July 13th this year at 4:15 in the afternoon. Report of 3 or 4 juveniles jumping off the tower in the middle of the upper reservoir. They were released to their parents.
Well, that's nice. I'm glad, they didn't throw them in jail. Well, we probably don't have enough room in our jail.
For 4 people? Probably not.
I don't think we do.
It's like a 2-person limit.
No evidence locker either.
But speaking of our huge police force, there is one in here somewhere. I may not have it. But there was a call about motorcycles and how they were blocking our whole roadway. Oh, here it is. So this is 11:27 in the morning on a Saturday. A motorcycle was reported stolen from Calistoga. It was last seen headed down south. Long story short, the police are helping them. They found this stolen motorcycle.
Found
the
a
next
bike.
one.
Good.
Multiple callers reported a large number of motorcycles parked in the center of the turn lane of Main Street. Police were busy with the previous call.
They just
They
didn't
just
go.
fully admit couldn't make it.
Sorry, can't help you.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that's
good.
why we can't arrest more than a few people
Well,
at
that's
once.
good. Well, luckily we had more people drinking wine than getting arrested. So, and speaking of drinking wine, what are we getting after tonight, Steve?
So we've got our 2021 Sauvignon Blanc available tonight. So this is kind of like the little kind of welcome wine for everybody when they come to Titus. And as it goes on probably just pure number of bottles consumed, probably the number one wine in our house. I think it's
Cool.
goes down. So yeah, it's a lovely wine. We ferment it in tank and then barrel age it. And it comes from the very corner of our property right here, the block that's closest to the river. And for your listeners that don't know, Titus is situated on Silverado Trail, kind of between the edge of Howell Mountain and Napa River. And so the block that's closest to the river is where this fruit comes from. And then in 2021, we blended about 4% Viognier in with it, just to kind of give it a nice little floral aromatic lift.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I like how you guys do a little bit of barrel aging. Cool. Yeah, because not
Yeah.
typical for Sauvignon Blancs, right?
Yeah.
But that's great. Gives
Yeah,
it
we
a
think
nice little more round and
Exactly. We think it
kind of
brings a
creamy.
nice kind of body
Yeah.
and creamy quality out of the mid palate, and
Nice.
adds another just kind of texture element to it.
cool.
Yeah, it's something to set it apart from all the
I
other
really like it. That's awesome.
SBs out there.
And you have a science background, is that right?
Yeah, my
Okay.
degree's in biochemistry.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think when I first went to college, I thought I was gonna like get a PhD and do like genetic research or something like that.
This
And then
is
most
way
of the
more fun.
grad students I met were like just hated their life, and I was like, maybe that's not for me. And so I, wanted to find a more applied science and found my way to Napa Valley and winemaking, and it's kind of been a love affair and haven't looked back since. On July 14th, a report of a suspicious woman peeking into someone's yard on Madrona Avenue. I mean, just
There's a lot of nosy.
suspicious.
There's a lot of nosy Nancy's out there on
Nosy
this one.
neighbors, right?
Man, Wednesday,
they?
July 6th, 10 o'clock in the morning. Report of a man smoking in front of a Main Street business in violation of the city code. Okay, big problems. Intoxicated person. Here's another one. July 5th on Tuesday, 9 at night. Report of a possibly intoxicated man, possibly trying to steal something from a Hunt Avenue store. A lot of possibles in there.
It's a lot of possibilities.
Police contacted the man and determined that he wasn't intoxicated and hadn't stolen anything. So he was possibly angry with whoever had turned him in.
Whoever turned him in, yeah.
There was also an intoxicated man who was walking on Vineyard Valley View Street. That was
Vineyard
it.
Valley View?
Vineyard.
That's not a thing.
I just keep seeing these great properties in Vineyard Valley, and I think, oh my gosh, I finally found a house I can afford.
You would
And
do,
then-
you know, Hillary, you would do so well at Vineyard Valley.
think so.
You would have so many friends. They would all cook for you. You would just bounce around to each of your friends, and
I could probably open a clinic in the middle
you would
of...
you'd get half
Oh, yeah.
of your business from there. It would be perfect.
Okay, so new life plan. Anyway, the drunk person wasn't there.
You know how many cookies you get? You'd be 400 pounds.
That's why I haven't done it yet. Because then I'd be a TLC star, on like my 600-pound life.
You'd
and
be my 500-pound NP. I love you, Helen. Just kidding. Just kidding. This is just a joke.
No, but I saw it all flash before my eyes.
This is too real for like a second.
Yeah, it was like, oh gosh, yeah, that is my future. But he was just walking down Valley View Street, the drunk
Good.
person.
Okay. I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
It's very important because our listeners really need accuracy when they're listening to this podcast. Because
So-
what would they do
Like
if they...
true validity, right?
Yeah, can people just not take a drunk walk though? Like if you're
Oh,
really
you've
not
never
doing
had
any harm,
You've never had a drunk walk in St. Helena?
A drunk in public?
like, but yeah, oh, I totally have. I'll admit that. But that's what I mean. If you're walking from one place to another and you
Yeah.
don't want to drive, is that really illegal?
No, I think it's great.
As long as you're not causing havoc.
Sure.
I think it's when you start causing havoc.
Okay,
that it's-
when you start.
I think you can get away with a lot of things if you're just minding your own business.
Okay.
So yes,
Okay.
whatever this might
I
be.
just wanted to clarify that.
Have you ever been in the police log or witnessed anything fun in St. Helena, Stephen? Like,
I've never personally been in the police
Yeah,
log,
okay,
no.
okay.
I've definitely known people that have been in the police log.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wait, do you and Autumn live in San Helena, or you guys live
No,
in
we
Napa?
live in Napa.
Napa, cool.
Yeah.
The big city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the crime there is one step up. There might be like a couple more stolen bikes. Yeah.
A few more dead bodies. Yeah.
It's a big river.
Gosh, if we ever got a dead body, we.
Oh, it would be nuts.
Oh,
Oh
the
my
town would
gosh.
go crazy.
It would absolutely be crazy. I mean, we're talking about people smoking and we're angry, and then leaf blowers are upsetting people. It'd be
Well,
nuts.
I have a piece of a body.
Wait, explain this.
Piece of a body.
Wednesday at 1:40 in the morning, police found a gold tooth in a pill receptacle outside the police station.
Like it was left for the police? Like as
Maybe a
evidence?
thank you gift? I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, maybe it's attached to a missing person and
Yeah.
the body's been buried and all they could get was the gold tooth.
Okay, Nancy Drew. Pump the brakes.
Again, a lot of follow-up questions per usual.
So, what's the best part about being the winemaker at Titus?
Oh, it's...
Oh, just jump right into it. Man. It's like, you know what?
Just getting right to it.
Here we
Just go
go.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a great job. It's we get to you get up early in the morning and be here to start picking grapes, and and then for me, like people always ask what my favorite part about winemaking is, and it's a really fulfilling job. You know, at the end of the day, we get to produce something. You know, we can start at the beginning of the morning and see like there's just a pile of bins out there. There's maybe 15, 20 tons, and then at the end of the day, we've crushed all those and put them in the tank. And then, like a week later, we've turned it into wine, and then 2 years later, we get to take all of that and blend it together and put it in a barrel or put it in a bottle and share it with people. And so I think that act of really producing something and going through the process is really fulfilling to me personally, and to kind of be at the head of all of it is really great, and it feels, it's really a nice part of kind of our job. So
Nice.
yeah.
But then, like,
Yeah.
Titus specifically, like, I know them just from, like, growing up here, and they're
Yeah.
an awesome St. Helena family, but is that kind of what's, like, kept you here is the awesome wine or the family or?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely both. I mean the family's great, and it's really is like a bootstrap kind of operation. The family bought this property that we're sitting on originally in 1969, and they were just grape growers and grape sellers for the first 21 years, and we didn't make any wine up until 1990, and then Philip and Eric held back 10 tons for that first vintage, and we made 600 cases, and then slowly but surely the wine brand grew and got to the point where finally they were taking all of the grapes off of the property. And in 2012, they finally got to the point where it was like, oh, it's a reality that we could probably build a winery. And so they kind of put their heads together and made that happen. And so they really built it from the ground up. Kind of reinvesting kind of every vintage, every year, kind of putting it back into the place. And so I'm really, really happy for them, and I'm really proud of them that they've been able to do that, and it's really awesome to be part of such a really cool company that's kind of done it from the ground up.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
really modern, cool space with the beautiful tanks and this old vine that's hanging on the wall. So that was so you had. Do you still have Zinfandel?
we do.
Property? Yeah.
Yep.
Zin,
Yes.
the Sauvignon Blanc,
Cabernet,
Cab.
Cab
yeah.
Franc,
Cool.
Petit Verdot, Petit Syrah, and
Nice.
then we purchased from offsite a little bit of Malbec, a little bit of Merlot,
Cool.
a few things that we currently aren't growing. We kind of are in the process of a kind of gradual replanting of the property, and so we'll probably replant those in the future. But for right now, most of our replanting has been focused on Cabernet.
Yep.
So
Cool.
yeah, Cabernet is what pays the bills,
Yeah, absolutely.
keeps
Yep.
people coming in.
Because you guys go all the way to Deer Park Road here, and then over by Duckhorn, right?
We actually stop right here.
Right there,
The property on the other side of the ditch there belongs to the Carpenter family.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, and then we don't quite go all the way to Deer Park Road. The Dr. Dinwiddie's Peach Orchard
Yes,
is.
of course. Yep.
And if you're from St. Helena, you know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Those sell out so quick.
yeah, No, you got to be there at like 8 in the
You
morning.
have to and like get in line.
Yeah.
And then they're like gone.
I've always wondered. I've never actually gotten any peaches. The only peaches I've gotten are from Buster's.
Oh,
What?
Buster's does great peaches.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Oh
that.
my god, they're great. He does peaches and watermelons.
Well,
Right in
that's
season.
a great,
Good to know.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good little tip for our
Exactly.
listeners.
Yeah. No, out here you got to see, like, they'll put the sign up and
Uh-huh.
they'll say, like, we'll be open on Wednesday. And you got to go Wednesday morning and, like, nab them quick. So, especially because they just kind of tore out and are replanting half of the orchard. So I think it goes really
Like
fast.
limited quantity, yeah.
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 That's it.
And
That's,
it's just-
that's what makes things special.
Yeah.
Limited.
Yeah.
Speaking of quantities, how much of this cab do you guys make? Is that your?
So this, I actually pulled a
Cab
Cab
Franc.
Franc
Cool.
for us.
Nice.
Yeah, so we make about 1,200 cases of Cab Franc. So we have the area right here next to the winery is planted with Cab Franc. Should we taste it?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's your favorite wine
Thank you.
to make from here?
I mean, I love Sauvignon Blanc. It really is one of my favorites. And then this wine actually, I mean, I picked two of my favorites to share with you guys. So, and I really love this Cab Franc. I feel like it's the type of wine that has a little something for everybody. You know, Cab Franc is kind of known for being a little more on the herbal side, and older kind of like traditional Cab Francs from California had like the real hardwired like bell pepper pyrazine, and newer clones aren't as strongly like green like that, but they still have like really pretty floral and herbs and a lot of kind of like rosemary and sage kind of notes. But it also is really has a nice kind of core of red fruit, and it has like a delightful kind of like fruit quality, and it's got like enough tannin on the palate that it can stand up to some food, but it's not like our most tannic wine. So I feel like it's kind of like that, like, you know, the mother bear kind of like, you know, right in the middle, kind of it has a little something for everybody. And so I think somebody can glean something out of this wine, almost from anybody that they really like about it. So
Cool.
yeah. And this is the 2019 that we're trying.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Delicious.
Fantastic. Yep. I'm a fan.
Nice.
So I was reading that their dad was a radiologist, I think in Sonoma.
Yeah.
And come over here and started this, and I find that so inspiring. Like, you can have this one totally opposite career and then just jump
Yeah.
ship. And do
Kind of
this.
like you.
He was the radiologist in Sonoma.
The only one.
Yeah, like
I
when he
completely
first started
believe
his
that.
practice, you know, because they were, I mean, that was back in the late 60s, early 70s. And he and his partner, his partner moved to Sonoma and kind of like got the practice started. And as soon as Dr. Titus graduated from medical school, he went and joined them. And he was already married, and I think they already had 1 or 2 kids. Yeah, he was a regular general practitioner, and then went back to school to get the radiology certifications and buy the equipment to do the radiology. And yeah, I think there was a period of time in Sonoma, if you like broke your arm or you know had to get an X-ray for anything, it was probably
Through that.
Yep,
The
Dr.
only
Titus
guy,
that reviewed it for you.
A common trend, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blank, of course, on everyone's name. There's a cardiologist that has a winery here. You would know if I could.
Oh,
think of
yeah,
the
yeah.
name.
Hold on,
Dr.
hold on.
Ravana?
Yeah, Ravana.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have old ER doctor
Turley, Larry
Thank you,
Turley.
Turley.
love
Dog
Larry.
Farm is now doing wine. You know, like I feel like this is a common
Yeah.
trend.
I mean, yeah, you could have a new thing. You know, I think you're more in the dog farm realm. So like doctor and dog farm
True.
and podcaster.
True.
Yeah.
But I love that wine is so cool that like people do these other things,
Yeah.
but it's just like these passion projects.
Everyone wants to come
that-
back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, look at you. It's the same thing.
Oh my God. Helicopters, fire trucks, and tractors.
Exactly.
Sorry,
They'll
I
go together,
overused
right?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I overused that way too much. I have 10 jokes. I use them in cycle.
You know, I have a really good friend that his dad's an ER doctor, and they have a couple vineyards too, and I think it's like you work so hard, and you know, there's got to be some way to like blow off steam and just go like, you know, just do something that's totally separate. Yeah.
Totally different. But I would like to give the St. Helena Police Department a shout out though, because their Facebook posts recently have been my favorite thing.
Can we read one of
I was
them?
gonna say, if you could pull one up, Chris.
What do they got going on?
Who's
is
ever
great.
doing the captions on these deserves a raise.
It is.
They're essentially thanking our like local police force for arresting these people and, fighting these crimes. But then they always add in a little like...
Keeping the streets clean.
Yeah. Well, they've been posting a lot lately. Okay, violation of probation. On 9/3/2022 at 10:19 a.m., officer noticed an Up Valley resident / transient walking away from their vehicle as it was parked in the 1100 block of Church Street. The officer confirmed the individual's probation terms prior to contact and provided Sergeant Bianco, is that how you pronounce his name? Do you know?
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds great.
With a direction of travel, as it appeared they were possibly under the influence of alcohol and a violation of their probation terms. Anyway, they searched the vehicle, uncovered open containers of alcohol, which was also a violation. They arrested the person for violating their terms. If you wanted to drink and possess alcohol, remember to be over 21 and not have probation orders preventing you from doing so.
Just a little fun fact, a little helpful.
Well, I've got another one for you that's equally as fun. This is DUI. This one's incredible. This was the 27th of August, 9 p.m. at night. Officer Stevenson was on a car stop in the area of Grayson Avenue at Main Street when a 56-year-old Fairfield resident pulled over in front of Officer Stevens' car and exited his vehicle. The man demonstrated objective symptoms of being under the influence of alcohol, and after some field sobriety tests, was arrested for suspicion of DUI. Numerous open containers of alcohol were seen on the rear window of the man's car, lying on the floor in the seats. And here comes the moral of the story.
Chucking him over his shoulder.
If you're traveling through our beautiful city, please don't drink and drive, especially don't drink a 12-pack while you're driving and pull yourself over in front of the cop.
He self-arrested him.
He pulled himself over?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's nice.
Good for him. Do you want the
I do
the meth
have one
one
more.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I
meth
always
one.
want a meth one. I find meth so fascinating.
Here, we'll give one to Stephen to read. This is a good one.
That sounded so
I
creepy.
find meth so fascinating. Go on, Hillary.
Yeah, me and my friends that all work in hospital, it's just always, you don't really get stunned anymore. People are very interesting at this point. It takes a lot to be phased. Meth always phases me. The things that sometimes people on meth will do, I'm like, what? It gives me shock value, which I don't get much anymore.
Did that why? All right, here, I've got another one. Possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. On 8/13/2022, 6:55, Officer Stevenson...
He's been killing it lately. That's Randy, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Randy. Shout.
Yeah. He actually... Yeah, Officer Stevenson is who was there when I got rear-ended.
Oh, nice. He's
yeah.
everywhere. He's
Yeah.
everywhere, man.
Picking up a lot of overtime.
Yeah. But he checked on an occupied, suspicious silver Lexus parked on Dowdell at Fountain. A 42-year-old Napa resident was Napa residents. Can't trust him. Was contacted and consented to a search of his vehicle, which resulted in the seizure of a drug paraphernalia and 2 misdemeanor charges. If you're traveling through our beautiful city, please don't bring a meth pipe or illegal drugs with you. Just put it out there.
Well, bringing it full circle back to harvest, we had a traffic alert 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Let's hear about it.
Big drama.
The roadway has been cleared of the spilled grapes, and it wouldn't be harvest time without it happening at least once. Today's spill occurred in the middle turn lane and throughout the southbound lane of Highway 29, Main Street, in parentheses, just in case you didn't know, just south of Sulphur Springs in front of Southern. A shout out to Public Works employee Juan Gonzalez, who responded with a street sweeper to clean it up, and Caltrans with a road absorbent. Please make sure your loads are secure well on the highway, and thank you to all those affected today with the slowdown in traffic.
The moral of the story from the SHPD.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's gonna lock
It's good.
that
They
load
could
down.
make a children's book out of this.
They could.
They could make a children's
They
book.
could.
Yeah. The lessons we learned on Facebook page of
How
Helena PD.
devastated would you be if you found out those were your grapes?
Have you ever had a grape accident here?
No, nothing tragic like that.
No,
no.
accidental blends or no, dumping of grapes or anything?
No,
That's pretty good.
we try to keep it between the lines.
No drinking until after
yeah.
everything's pressed or crushed?
Yeah, I always tell the employees, no drinking or drugs at work. Do whatever you want on your own time.
It's a fair request.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, did you guys hear about the 20 tons of grapes that fell off the road up here?
No, that's why we come to these. What happened?
Yeah, it was, I guess it was like 2 weeks ago, or maybe, like 2.5 weeks ago. It was a Friday, and I was out in the back. All of a sudden, I just heard like this truck that was like, it was super loud, and I looked up just in time, right as it was coming around the corner here, just south of Lodi Lane, and the whole truck, 20 tons of grapes, just started twisting, and the trailer just went off of the embankment over here, and all 20 tons just went like, boom, ejected into the vineyard.
Oof.
Yeah.
I think I would go pick them up.
Macro bins everywhere.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. So I think it's a bad day for that truck driver, for sure.
Soft landing. Maybe some of them you can recover.
Probably not.
They didn't get any of them.
Maybe some
It was pretty.
Highway 29 AVA.
Was this my chance to go start my own wine label?
Perhaps.
I should have gone to collect stuff.
I mean,
You got like a bucket out
They're
there.
pressed for
They're
me.
pre-squished, yeah.
Pre-crushed, hints of tar,
Yeah.
There was,
and residual insurance claim.
Yeah.
I think lots of dirt mixed in by the time you got
I
to
wanted
it.
that earthy flavor to it.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
Some
Perfect.
real terroir in there.
yeah.
So.
But I didn't know that 20 tons of grapes could like fly, but they did. they went like so far out into the vineyard. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
nuts.
that poor truck
That's
driver.
That's an expensive mistake.
I don't think he has his job anymore.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Oh.
No.
How has your harvest been this year? Let's hear about it.
It's been a wild ride. Yeah, it's been good so far, but we have a little interlude between picking.
Yep.
We had a little rainstorm last night and a little extra this afternoon. So we're taking a break for a couple days, but we'll get back into it on this is a Monday, and we'll get back into it on Wednesday. And we're about halfway through all of our reds, and
Cool.
really happy with the quality so far. And our Sauvignon Blanc is delicious. So those wines are already finished with fermentation and safely tucked away in the barrels.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to the 2022.
Cool.
It'll be every bit as good as the 21. And right now the reds are tasting great. We had a kind of a record-breaking heat wave that kind of kicked everything into overdrive. So it was like pick, and then wait with the rain here. So.
Yeah, can we
So
talk
it's
about
nuts.
that a little bit? Because people don't quite understand
How bad how
with
crazy
this
it was.
weather,
Yeah.
and how that affects what you guys do every day.
You mean like my emotional response, or
We can go
like what it's doing
if
to
you'd
me?
like to talk about it, I could do some therapeutic communication. But I meant more with the grapes and how you have this giant heat spike, and then all of a sudden, grapes that normally are picked over 6 weeks had to be picked in 3 days, or
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
you-
wild.
you
I mean,
can attest to
the
it better
sugar
than I
went
can.
wild, I guess, and
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just, I mean, we like to pick grapes that are around for our red wines, for Cabernet and stuff, 25, 26 bricks is a good, hey, let's get going kind of thing. And the week before Labor Day, we sampled grapes that were at 22 bricks. And then the week after Labor Day, we sampled grapes that were at 27, 28 bricks. And it just it doesn't usually go that fast.
Mm-hmm.
We usually see a nice, even ripening. And like you were saying, you can kind of plan it out and kind of bring everything in a nice gradual way. This heat wave didn't really let us do that.
Mhm.
So I'm sure Chris's family, it's the same
yeah,
deal.
same, right? So,
Yeah.
it was already all of a sudden, and everyone wanted to pick, and then you wonder if it's if it's phenolitically ripe, and we get into all that discussion. But it seems like it's fine. I mean, stuff was a little bit more dehydrated, I think. But do you think it's gonna, with this rain, it might kind of back things up a little bit, or do you think it's kind of where they are?
I think it'll maybe at least help it hang in there.
Yeah.
To kind of get around to the fruit that hasn't been picked yet.
Mm-hmm.
After the heat, we went around and assessed kind of okay, what really needs to be picked right now? And we went out and took care of that stuff. And the fruit that's still kind of hanging out is, things that we thought were doing okay after the heat. They still need to be picked, but so I think the rain will just help things kind of hang in there for a little bit longer while we can get out there and get to them.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And the water doesn't affect it at this point.
Eric and I were talking about it today, and if the vines take up any of this water and put any of it in the fruit, it'll probably be a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018, that was a record large harvest for all of the north coast of California, You know, it was just one of those vintages where the vines just put out a huge crop, and it's like through flowering, it set like every single berry. And we had a really mild summer, and you know, we didn't have like that heat wave in the Labor Day weekend like we normally do. So that was kind of a year where like there was just this big crop out there. And then remember, it rained in like the second week of September, and those vines definitely took up, or that year, same vines, but that year they definitely took up a bunch of that water. And I remember going out and like, I'd never tasted grapes that I thought tasted diluted before, but
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Does it,
They
like
did.
dilute the
for
sugar?
sure.
yeah, like the grapes tasted watery, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh man, we
They always
got
lose a little spark after that, like last rain. It seems like they
Yeah.
kind of lose a little bit of their like, I don't know if it's acidity or what
Their
that is.
finesse.
But finesse.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dad it's always said that. He's like, oh, it's always a little bit different after that. Right?
Yeah.
And you can always count on that. You're right there. You get the heat spike, and then there's always a rain shortly thereafter.
Yeah,
And it's always something, and it depends on type of, you know, how bad it is. But
You just hope there's enough time between that heat spike and the rain to just kind of
yeah,
clean up the mess.
To get it done.
totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's always an interesting, you know, it provides sort of an interesting year, and it's always something to talk about.
Hey, do we want to hear about this wild sheep?
Please, this is going to be the highlight of my day.
Okay.
While we're doing that, I'm grabbing another splash of some Cab Franc.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Hillary need like a little
Hillary need a
splash?
splash.
Well,
I'm good. Thank you, though.
I'll take a little splash.
Cool.
So this was on July 12th, and this all started at 6:30 at night. So I think the police force was primed for a good night. But at 6:30, there was a report of a frantic sheep headed towards RLS on Spring Mountain Road.
See, that's the level of detail I like. I want to know the adjective. What was the sheep feeling?
Yeah, no, the sheep had real,
Some
it
emotions
was like
here.
something happened to the sheep.
I feel for the sheep.
I mean, it probably like charged through an electric fence and it was probably freaking out. But
It's a little like, ooh, ooh.
yeah. And then at 8 o'clock, the sheep was reportedly wandering by the river.
The same frantic sheep.
Just maybe less frantic, now just like kind of lost, looking for his friends. And then at 8:30, the sheep resurfaced near the parking lot of the Christantine Apartments on Hunt Avenue. Kids were trying to corral it. It seemed to be completely penned in just east of Woodbridge, but it escaped. Whoever wrote those Facebook updates was writing the police blog this day.
That's
Could be.
fantastic.
And then
Sean
at
Wilson.
midnight, the sheep was spotted again near Main and Mitchell. It was finally captured at 1:37 a.m. Took them like an hour and a half to chase this poor sheep around with the help of a PG&E employee who lassoed it, and then it was taken to the police department's kennel.
Multiple things. We have a kennel, and I have not visited it yet with farm animals in it.
Oh, I'm dead.
I mean, can you imagine being like a dog and be like, what's up with this sheep coming
Okay,
here?
and you know what I'm even more upset about? Maine Mitchell. Do you know how close I live to that? And I missed all of this action.
You weren't out there at 1:30 in the morning kind of seeing this all go down?
I mean, I'm awake at weird hours. I would have loved to like been coming home from the emergency room on a call
And watch the
like,
PG&E
and watch
employee.
PG&E like lassoing the sheep. That would have made the whole like me not sleeping worth it.
You know that PG&E worker is an icon in PG&E at this point.
I would like to walk over to that
He's
PG&E
like-
lot and meet him.
Do you think he was
Shake
going
his
like
hand.
full Yellowstone? Like he had like a calf roping rope
He
in his
just pulls out of his truck. I've been waiting
he's like,
for this moment.
I'm on this. I think he just like tied like an extension cord up and like, just happened to catch the sheep.
I think he used to be a mutton buster as a kid, and then he just kind of grew up as a PG&E cowboy.
I love this so much. What happened to the sheep after the kennel? Was the sheep put down? Did he go back to
Oh
his
God, I
friends?
hope not. I'm sure he went back to his
I hope he
job.
went back to his flock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a flock of
It's
sheep.
a
yeah.
flock, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I mean-
Also, I would love to go visit that kennel.
I'm
Should
sure
we
you
swing
can.
by on the way home tonight?
It's right in the
see what's
back.
there?
I've seen it before.
Have you seen animals in it?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, of course. It's right by the fire department. Where you drive through, and the fire department's on the left. The police
We
department's on the
never
right.
talked about
There's
this.
a kennel, well,
It's
now
like
you
a
know.
petting zoo in town for free.
Yes, Hillary.
You're like, oh great, Hillary's back to pet strange dogs.
She'll be in the police log. Strange redheaded woman is visiting the police station kennel again at 1 in the morning.
I would go in the evening, not at 1 in the morning.
Officer Stevenson contacted. If you're visiting the police department,
Dave Chris is my emergency contact. Please come get Hillary again. She's scaring.
please leave your Velcro gloves at home, Hillary.
Anyway, I'm just disappointed I never knew about this.
Now you do.
Perfect. I feel like
Drive by there on the way home. Oh,
I
man.
will. There was a report of a person trying to impersonate an employee of a local business. I hope it was Steve's.
It would be easy. You could just get a polo with your name on it.
And then
Or-
just stand in the aisles and be like,
Could you imagine?
can I help
Can I
you?
help you?
Yeah.
Can I help you?
I
Like-
do appreciate how they always do
They're
help me.
they're very on top of it.
They're very aggressive with the help.
Yeah.
Like,
I tend to need a lot of help when
Well, we know this.
I would love to walk into a tasting room and just like
Start
you know,
pouring.
start pouring, pretend
just go
like
behind
I
the bar
work.
and
Yeah.
just like, yeah,
And they'll
just
be like,
start
"This-
slinging it.
I'm new here. I just started. I'm
Well.
you know, a seasonal worker."
Could we do like a Napa Valley version of Punked with Ashton Kutcher? You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be
Yes.
fun?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Like Napa Punked or something?
Yeah.
But you've well, you guys
Crushed.
have done this because you're a professional. But you've never like poured for someone and be like, "You're gonna taste this, this, and this," and you just make it all up, and they're like, "Yes,
I get that.
taste
I
that,"
get that,
and you're like,
yeah.
"I just made that up."
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that in college.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy with Franzia.
Well, I meant.
Can
when
we
I
do a
worked
little?
with
Can we do a
writers.
cheers to? Was it Fred Franzia?
Yeah, Fred Franzia.
Yeah, Fred, man, the box
Passed
wine
away.
guy.
He
R.I.P.
died.
Yeah,
Yep.
$2 shot.
Wow, iconic.
Anywho, looking at the log, the old ones. Do you have some good old ones?
I
Or
mean,
did
I've
you
already read my
share
old
them?
ones. This is fun. The July 17th, Friday, 2015 report. 1 in the morning report of a woman either hitting herself or getting hit on Spring Street. I don't know what the deal is there.
Getting hit with what?
I don't know. She's hitting herself apparently. I'm kicking my own.
At Monday at 8 a.m., there was a report of a possible rabid fox on Vintage Avenue. An officer confirmed the animal was old and sick. Arrangements were made to take it to Wildlife Rescue Center.
I think arrangements were made to take it to the river
Yeah.
The rescue.
and teach it swimming lessons.
This is why you're not allowed to the kennel anymore.
Probably not.
So I don't
Another
call that-
animal one here. 2021 on the 16th of July, Vallejo Street resident reported an ongoing problem with a neighbor dog that likes to run along her fence and tease her dog. Tragic.
This is a police matter?
Yeah. Apparently.
How about police were asked to check on a man leaning against a tree and yelling near the railroad tracks on Fulton Avenue? He was looking for the train.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Seems more like a Napa one than a Helena one.
I know. I've got another good one. Friday
boy.
at 6:40. Report of an angry driver yelling at homeowners on Pratt Avenue and telling them his Escalade cost $130,000.
Oh,
Cool.
Good for you,
I
Fancy.
sir.
hope Tom was out there hearing all this. Probably no doubt giggling.
yeah.
Amazing. It's incredible. The things
He was
you see in San
passionate
Luis.
about his Escalade.
Maybe it's a good thing you live in Napa, you know?
It's
Just
just
to deal
a,
with this crazy.
it's a different vibe. Yeah.
What do you guys what is a good like a normal weekend for? I mean, you guys like to go out? You go to dinner down there? What do you guys like? What do you do for fun?
We'll do a little
big
dinner
city.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like to hike and,
Oh, cool.
you know, spend time outdoors and we go to boats. We'll go fishing sometimes and yeah. And then, yeah, we like to partake of the fun in Napa. And also we live in North Napa. So we'll go up to Yountville a lot too.
Cool.
So important question.
Yes.
No,
One-
Thomas Keller will not come onto our podcast. We've already asked.
That's not the question.
That was
Come on.
exactly what you were thinking.
Come
It
on,
wasn't.
guy.
It totally wasn't.
Okay.
I was gonna ask favorite restaurant
Ooh.
and what wine are you gonna drink when you go there?
Good question.
And what are you ordering?
Whoa, that's a triple
Wow.
threat.
That's a lot.
I know.
Stacked it up there.
I know. You can break it down as you need, work through it. We're here for support.
Thanks. You know, I think my just favorite classic Napa restaurant that I've just loved ever since I very first went there and has been the whole time is Angel.
Okay.
Yeah, love the kind of the variety of like the, you know, that like French country style of food, and then love to just sit at the bar and usually have a Negroni.
Man, oh, we're best friends.
There we go.
Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. Come over for Negronis
We
anytime.
should do that.
Yeah, but yeah, and then usually probably order like a Rhone wine or something like that.
Okay.
Like yeah, depending on what we're having.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer.
And then yeah, I love the lardon salad, the sweetbreads, the they usually have like a duck entree that's really good. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. And then if you're there for lunch, the Niçoise salad is on point.
Okay.
It's so good.
Cool.
There we go.
Yeah.
Take it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love hearing what people like.
And then I mean, in Yountville, I love Bouchon. Like, that place is amazing. Yeah.
I love Bouchon too.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Yeah. So, yeah, one of our favorites, Red, which is where Autumn and I went on our first date. We were so sad when that place closed.
I know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red, and then we lost Redwood, and then...
And
know.
Panchas.
I know, Panchas, what's going
Oh,
on?
Rose died.
It's tragic. Yeah.
This is our chance to take over.
Take over Panchas?
9-1 Wine Panchas.
Oh. Just a
Collaboration.
move in.
I could be a bartender.
You could bring some new chairs in and be really good.
We can keep.
Did you ever get kicked out of Panchas?
No. I'm too much of a goody two shoe to be kicked out of.
There
a bar.
was the story that Rose loved to tell about her kicking out Jessica Simpson. Do you remember this story?
No.
Yes.
I believe that though.
No, she absolutely did. Yeah, Jessica Simpson came in. It was on her some girls' weekend, and
Didn't she get married? No,
Christina
that was
Aguilera got
She
married.
got married in St. Helena.
Yes, but
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
big deal. Oh my god, I remember it. But yeah, apparently Jessica came in and asked for some cocktail of sorts, some foo-foo cocktail, and Rose told her, "We don't have that. Get out."
Oh,
And
when
she was like,
straight to the
"What?"
get out.
Just leave, get out. She I guess gave her a little bit of gruff.
Yeah.
And then Rose was like, "Get the hell out." So that was her claim.
Move
to fame.
along, Jessica
She
Simpson.
kicked out Jessica Simpson. Saying, "I don't care who you are. Leave."
Good for her.
I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for her. Well, poor Panchas.
Yeah, I had some friends that were visiting during Harvest one year, and they were staying at the Napa Valley Lodge. That's like right there across
Yeah.
the street. And it was a Saturday, and they went in, they're like, oh, like, we'll go into the bar. Thinking it's like a normal bar.
We all laugh.
And we'll watch some college football and have a couple pops, and apparently the game that they wanted to watch wasn't on, and they asked for it to be changed, and they were told no. We're watching this game. And I met up with them for dinner later, and they were like just utterly perplexed at how they're like, that's just bad customer service. And I was like, you guys don't understand.
Don't know Panchas.
Rose doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were just like, they
But
just
that's
kept going
what's
on
part
and
of
on
the
about
charm
it.
about it.
Oh, yeah,
It was
for
definitely
sure.
charming.
Yeah.
But really, what's going on? Are they going to close it for good or what?
I
We need to
haven't
investigate.
heard. I bet you could post on the next door and
I
you'll
hope
have
someone
about
will.
45 comments of opinions with no real answer.
True.
But
I mean, I'm
You know,
sure
a lot
they,
of conjecture.
yeah.
I'm sure they own the building outright, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. So
Absolutely.
there's no
I
lien on
hope
that
they
place.
don't sell out. I hope they don't, because they would just tear down and put non-Panchas there, and that would be so sad.
It would be very sad. Yeah.
Yeah, something that would like match Stuart Sellers, basically.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
Panchas back.
I know.
It makes for the green doors for sale.
Oh no.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So you're not gonna. Henry's is gone. You're not gonna be able to do the dive bar circuit of Napa Valley that,
That,
you used to be
you
able to
know
do.
that's been like
The
my
dive bar
dream.
circuit is now
I was
Susie's and Anna's.
I think you probably are like 10 years too late.
I know.
Yeah.
I should have done this right when I turned 21.
You're 10 years too late.
Yeah.
For a lot of things.
I'm aware. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get reminded every morning. Look in the mirror. I'm like, ooh, should have started that skincare routine a long time ago.
What happened here? How did I get so gray?
We talk about how I don't sleep and how I do just fine. Well, maybe not.
Those days.
Well, does anyone have a fun log to
Finish this off with the
finish
logs.
this off?
I feel like I've got a real St. Helena one.
Let's hear it.
Report of jackhammering occurring near Fulton Lane. Police determined that vineyard workers were installing a post. Agriculture work is exempt from the noise ordinance.
Nice. Well, I'm glad they set them straight.
I think I'm going to use that if anyone ever comes over and they're like, you're being too loud. I'll be like, it's agriculture.
Ag work.
It's ag work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a fun one. This was on the 4th of July. At 23:27 and 23:29. This is some fireworks going on. Report of someone setting off fireworks on the west side of town. And then 2 minutes later, another report of neighbors shooting off fireworks in the Vallejo Street area.
Do you want to talk about what part of town you were on 4th of July?
I was in Rutherford. I don't know. Yeah, I was not in town for this. So I don't know. I'm curious.
Are you sure?
Very sure. Yeah, I cannot be tied to this. Interesting, though, that those two are coordinated times. Fascinating. Anyway,
Well,
I wish I
God
would have
bless
seen
America.
it. I'm sure it was good. And you know what? Come on, guys. It's 4th of July. That's going to happen. I'm sure they'll get over it.
I mean, that's not bad. Only 2 calls for the whole
Yeah.
4th of July.
I mean,
not bad.
at our house in Napa, we watched like basically a whole firework display on 4th of July. Like,
Perfect.
not coordinated, not legal.
So there was no like music going to it like Disneyland.
No,
You
this is,
didn't
like,
get the
fun.
full.
I feel like it was almost like a challenge. Like somebody would set a motor off, and then somebody else would be like,
to you.
"Oh,
Do you think
I
that's
got a
what
bigger
happened
one.
in
Yeah.
this case? Do you think they were like, was this dueling fireworks? Did someone like, oh yeah, I'll show you?
I think it was just the perfect time of night where everyone was like, it's late enough,
it's time.
but like
Yeah.
not too late that like, let's just do it.
That's a good one.
I'm waiting for Napa to bring like the drone fireworks show. Like I feel like
That'd be fun.
would be
Yeah.
next on our horizon.
Yeah.
yeah."
It's not
I'm
quite
not
as fun.
sponsoring it, but I'm just
Fair enough.
throwing it out there.
So, Chris, have you ever been featured in the St. Helena?
I have not, unfortunately. I mean,
How have I and you haven't? That does not
that
make
doesn't
sense.
make sense. Well, what? As if we're like some vagrants, hoodlums out there running about.
Like crime duo.
We're just, the secret is we're just really in the loop with like Randy and all the rest of the cops, and they just, you know.
Do the crime for us? Is that what you're trying to say?
They would
Keep your name out of the
keep
paper.
our name out of the police
Oh.
log, I'm sure. There'll be some
I get what
restraint
you're
there.
going with. Yeah, we
Yeah.
are just wild all
Yeah.
over town.
I mean, I'm sure only in terms of like lost dogs and like broken glass in the street. I don't think they would give us any special treatment per se, but
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think we would do any breaking
I
any
don't know.
laws
I mean,
that's
we're-
worth the special treatment.
good point. You might get away with like out of parking violation if you parked in front of a fire hydrant.
We would have to drive more. We'd have to walk less.
That's true.
Well, where can we find this delicious wine if we want to? Tell us, how we can come visit, all of those cool things.
Yeah, so the wines are available here in the tasting room. Obviously, anybody can come on in and purchase them, but also on our website, titusvineyards.com, and they've got the whole online store there. And if anybody wants to come visit, they can reach out to the team at info@titusvineyards.com.
Perfect.
And we do our tastings by appointment here. We call it a semi-private tasting. Every group kind of gets to sit with their own group and get hosted by one of our lovely tasting room hosts. And they might be hosting a couple different people at the same time. But yeah, and tastings are I think $55 a person. But
Cool.
and it's waived with equivalent purchase. So yeah.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Totally worth
Yeah.
it. And a
Yeah.
great spot, great views.
Yeah,
the views
beautiful
are
view,
incredible. And you're
and-
so close to town.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And close to Brasswood for lunch. And
Oh, good call. Yeah.
yeah, go get some mozzarella.
Oof.
Yeah.
Speaking our language.
Yes,
Nice.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Steven. This was fun.
This is
Yeah.
great. I
Thanks
really
for-
appreciate it.
Look forward to
Yeah.
coming back again and maybe hanging out with you guys and seeing the rest of the operation. But
That sounds
it's
great.
very cool.
Yeah.
So keep it up.
Cool. Cheers. Yay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, that was another fabulous episode.
I mean, anytime we can learn about electric sheep wrangling is a good episode.
I would love to be in contact with that PG&E worker.
Well, if anyone knows who the PG&E worker is, free 911 wine hat.
Ooh, giving out the goods.
Yeah, big time.
Well, I hope everyone has a magical Thanksgiving or whatever you choose to celebrate in November. Enjoy all the food, all the pie, and we'll see you next month for a double episode month.
Whoa, slow down, Hill. I don't have time for all this. See ya.
Enjoy your evening and be safe.